dissolved.
Oh, hi.
We're on a TV
dissolved, yes.
Welcome to another episode of Cocktails and Curtain Calls that we just realized we're on.
We're on.
We're only at 106.
We'll get the hang of it soon. We'll get the hang of it. Hang in there with us.
So welcome. I'm Matt Austin.
And I am Beth Young. And for the next half an hour, we are going to talk to our guest who is starring in Venus in Fur at the Sherman Playhouse, which opens when? Oh, April. No. Valentine's Day.
This is going really quick.
How appropriate that it is.
February 14th, it starts performances.
We have previews, half-price previews on
We should
Thursday.
probably also say her name.
You don't need to. It's fine. It's fine.
Agnes Fohn.
Agnes
Thank
Fohn.
you for being
That's
here.
right.
Thank you
I'm
for
sorry.
having
Did I
me.
just gloss right over
It's
that?
all right.
I did, yes.
They'll find out when they come see the show.
She's in the program.
That should have been an incentive. We should have just
Yes.
not told people your
Right?
name.
That's it. Go check it out, and then you'll find out. So, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you
It's
for having
wonderful
me.
to have you here.
Thank you.
And how's it? I mean, this is a challenging role you're playing. How's it going?
It's been wonderful. Catherine is such a force to be reckoned with. You know, she actually, I did Other Desert Cities with her in the summertime. I auditioned for her play, actually. I auditioned for Other Desert Cities, and she didn't cast me, but she called me the next day and she's like, I really love your energy. It was the first time we met, and she's like, I'd love for you to come and assistant direct with me. And I was like, amazing. I hadn't done theater since college, so I was really excited to just
break in.
Yeah, get back into it.
And it's such a great place, and she's a great person.
It's
show
great.
was great.
Yes, and I grew up in Sherman.
Oh, yeah.
And the last show I did actually before was As You Like It in Sherman with Jane Farnall.
Oh my goodness.
Many years ago. Wonderful.
Just this moment.
Right off camera.
Get back on and tell her where we are and who we're
yes.
with. So tell us a little bit about the play.
Yeah.
Give us a little sketch of the play without giving anything away.
Okay.
Just a little sketch.
So the play opens and we have Thomas, who is the playwright, and he is desperately trying to find an actress.
And he is played by
Chris Longo.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Great.
Yes, who's doing a wonderful job. He is a great Thomas and so wonderful to play against. So he's looking for this actress, and he's had 35 incompetent actresses come in already, and he's just at his wit's end. And it's the end of the night. He's about to go home, and knock, knock, knock. Vaughn enters. I come in, and I'm late and frazzled, but I push my way into an audition, and then it becomes this really interesting power play and very sexy.
It's good it opens on Valentine's Day.
Yes, absolutely. I don't want to give too much away.
No,
That's right. That's right. And that was intentional that it opened on Valentine's Day,
Yes.
I understand.
Yes, absolutely.
Very crafty of
We want to make people feel very amorous that evening.
That's excellent. Good for you. So what's it like to be back on stage? And again, in such a challenging role.
Yeah, it's amazing. I forgot how much I loved it.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, it's been and it's such. Of course, I'm going to come back to theater and pick a really
You do for 90 minutes.
really easy.
Yeah,
part,
right, right.
No lines, just really.
Yeah.
So it's basically one long scene, which was hard to memorize in the sense it's kind of, you have to follow it chronologically and keep that in mind. But Chris and I, we were running lines constantly, and he was so great to work with. So it's been really incredible. I think that after all these years, I'm so excited to keep going and continue and
You've got
do
the
some more
buzz
shows.
now.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
people cast me.
Yeah. But that's how.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it starts. You just get in, and then people see you, and then things.
I was a
open up.
theater major at Pace, actually, at Pace University. So
you've taken the scenic route back to the stage.
yes, absolutely, yes.
Well, tell us a little bit about what you do for your job,
we're
it's
talking off
interesting
camera.
and apropos of the play.
Yes, so I run True Muse Boudoir, which is a boudoir photography.
Say that again. The name.
True Muse Boudoir.
True Muse Boudoir. Where is that located?
So I'm located in Sherman.
In Sherman.
Yes.
Okay.
And I was living in New York actually for 16 years, and I moved to Sherman about 2 years ago. And my parents moved to Florida 3 years ago, so I moved back into the house that I grew up in.
Oh my goodness, you really have come back to
Yeah,
this,
so
huh? Wow.
I'm not gonna lie, I have my moments, especially when I'm snowed in, where I'm like, oh God, I miss the city, and it's
Were you
great.
in Manhattan?
I was, yes.
Yeah,
I was on the Upper West Side. It was a really great place, but I got kind of burned out from the city, after being there for
Get
so
to a
long.
point. I was there, worked there for 10 years, and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
never be done.
Yeah, and
That's
I think
right.
about moving back every day.
yeah, but it's funny. Now I have those moments where I'm like, oh, I kind of.
It's not
I was like,
that far
can I do
away.
it?
That's
It's not that far
true.
away.
No, it's
Now,
true.
did you do theater in Manhattan when you were there? Or you?
No, just in college, really. I didn't. After college, I kind of. I met my mentor, and we started
photography.
working. Yes, for photography. Yes.
Uh-huh.
And we started working together, and I just kind of fell into it and fell in love with it. And I loved acting so much, but I don't think I was ready to commit myself to that life in New York. And
Right. And it is. It's a lifestyle commitment.
Yes, I still
Absolutely.
have friends who are so gung ho and do it, and they're doing amazing work. But I see how tired they are. And,
Right,
And
right.
it's a really tough life, and I loved it, but it was just something that I couldn't commit to myself.
Right.
What drew you to audition for other desert cities? Were you just like, I want to try this again?
Yeah, I was flipping through the paper, and I just saw an audition notice, and I was like, oh, it's weird. It just kind of, and I'd read the play years ago, and I loved it, and I was like, okay. I was like, well, this is kind of a sign. Let me just go and audition. And I met Catherine, and it was so much fun. It was so much fun to go and audition. I was petrified. I'm sure I was just shaking, and everything was a whole big blur.
You
But
have made a great impression. So yeah, whatever.
She calls you the next day.
but it was wonderful because she called me a few months before we started Venus and Fur. She called me and she's like, hey, would you come get coffee with me? I said, sure. So I met her, and she's like, how are you doing? And she pulls out the copy of the
Slides the script across.
So I'm doing Venus and Fur in Sherman.
Had you heard of Venus and Fur? Did you see it
No,
before?
I did not. I really didn't know anything about it. And she was like, it's a very sexy place. She's like, I think you'd be great for it. I'd love for you to come and audition. So I was like, all right, I'll go.
It's a nice invitation.
It was. So I sat there in the coffee shop. She went back to work. I sat there in the coffee shop and read the whole thing right there. And I was like, oh my gosh.
It's such a great play.
It spoke to you.
This part, and for what I do, I'm all about the female empowerment. So it spoke to me on such a deep level. So.
It's all about you. So I did see it. What's her name? Was it Nina Arianda?
Yes.
Yeah, she won the Tony Award for it.
did.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
I saw actually a video of it, and she was.
Yeah.
They both were. They were fantastic.
Well, it's again a great role. It's a really sink your teeth literally into this role. It's just great. So
you have to be very bold.
Yeah.
This has taught me to be very bold, I will say.
Well, I think
your first time back on stage.
I have to say, but Sherman does that. I mean, they did Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
They do, they'll
Take the
go out on a
chances
limb
on
and take this chance, and it pays off.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
pays off. You bring in people that perhaps. I mean, when I went to see Rocky Horror, the front row was full of leather bustier women throwing things at the stage.
I wish I would have been able to.
And some men.
Perfect. And some men. So maybe they were. I don't know. But it was. I admire that, taking that opportunity and like so fortuitous that you happen to have moved back and be able to do this. That is so exciting.
And I grew up in Sherman, so I've seen the town change. My family's had the house there for 25 years, so it's amazing to be able to do such a just meaty, brilliant piece.
Right. Now is it, have you, since you came back, and have you sort of found a community of theater in Sherman, a place like a home for theater there?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's been so wonderful, and just Catherine you know, even inviting me for coffee and inviting me to audition was such a huge, it was such a huge compliment. And, you know, everyone's so wonderful. They really are such a nice big family. So.
A nice big family. I mean, you really get that feeling. And, you know, we talk about being in New York and working in New York, yes. But, I mean, the reason we do what we do here is because we are such advocates for community theater and
yes.
and the talent that is in this area. I mean, I just recently learned, you probably knew it already, that Connecticut has more theaters
per capita
than any state in the
country.
Really?
I did not know that.
So, look, I can see the smile on your face. Just think of the things you could do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, just here, there's 20, 30 theaters just, you know, within driving distance of this area. So there is a lot going on. And in New York, parts that, you know, would be really hard to get. Here you can experience your, you know, live your dreams.
Yeah.
So.
And just like you were saying, the talent is incredible. I mean, just seeing other desert cities and seeing that play evolve and, you know, from start to finish, because I was always on stage. I never was behind the scenes. So seeing it every night and seeing them just perfect these roles, it was so beautiful and just really rewarding
and powerful. I think. Yeah, it's
absolutely.
really. I mean, that play I came away from thinking, wow, they
worked so hard. They were incredible.
They must have, because of the play demands that gut-wrenching thing, right? But the appointment of the stage, it's just really very professional. It was wonderful, wonderful. So,
and that was my couch from Manhattan.
Was it?
I gotta tell you, we loved that. We loved the couch. And John, is his name
said
John?
he wanted to live there.
The table.
Yes,
the couch and the table. I was like, I would like those in my house.
He did. He said, I want to live on your set.
I mean, it was great, right?
Yeah.
It was perfect because I was actually I was moving out of my apartment in May. And I was like, you know, I have this couch. I was like, I think it'll work perfectly for that Palm Springs look that you were looking for, just that very clean. And, you know, I popped it into the U-Haul when we were bringing all the stuff back, and she was like, this is perfect. So
it was.
Yes, it was.
She was right.
That was one of the things we like the show itself was wonderful. But one of the big things we raved about was how the set
was so beautifully appointed and so well done. Yeah,
they did a great job.
It was just great, and that feeling of, you know, the open air. So your entire play takes place on one set. Yes, one.
Yes, and it is. We kind of cut the stage in half. It is very intimate.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because that's a big space. Well, bigger space.
Catherine wants the audience to feel like they cannot escape.
It's a good thing.
So that's not a bad thing, you know, not having to escape from a sexy situation. Come on.
It could be worse.
Yes,
it could definitely be worse. Yes, go ahead.
Do you have a question?
No, go right ahead. You did. Yeah.
So how do you just bring it back to Venus and Fur? How do you like approach a character like this? What was your kind of approach to?
You know, there's 3 characters, essentially. There's Wanda the actress, there's Wanda von Dunjev, who's the British aristocrat, and then there's Venus, which, I'm telling you, that German accent killed me. You should have heard me at the read-through. I was like, I'm so sorry, I don't even know what just came out of my mouth. It was, so don't hold that against me at the show. So, you know, it's, Catherine and I talked a lot about, you know, the physical differences. You know, and I lived in New York. I was a bartender and a waitress for so long. I hustled, so I understand that. I understand that, like Wanda, I understand in that regard. And, you know, before we started, Catherine's like, I want you to watch a lot of Downton Abbey. You know, she's like, get that.
Wow.
She's like, get that. She's like, that's what you want to kind of channel, that very proper, in-demand sort of thing. So, yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, just reading it over and talking through with Chris was really helpful, kind of identifying how to differentiate the characters, and we'll see. Hopefully you guys will like it.
You know what? You're having fun with it, and that says a lot. That you know, just the mere fact that you're enjoying it so much that plays, and audiences
I'm excited
love
to go to rehearsal. You know, still, and I'm still. You know, we're a week away, and I still get so excited to just do it again. And,
right.
Yeah,
So speaking of again, do you have anything in your sights that you're thinking of, or is there a part you would love to play? I always like to give people an option to say that, so that directors who are listening.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Is there a part you'd love to play?
Oh God, that's a really tough question that I was not prepared
Or
for.
10 parts.
Or 10 parts.
Yes.
All of them?
Time.
All the parts? I don't know. I would have to think about that.
Think about that.
Yeah.
You can email us and we'll put it out there.
Yes.
You'll be
No
the
one's
first
ever emailed
person to
us,
email us. Yeah, do that.
Next
Email us.
week, yes, next week. I
Yeah.
mean, there's just so many out there. I feel like this whole world has just opened back up to me, and I'm just excited. I'd actually really love to read new plays and kind of see, what else is out there.
What else is out there, and what are people doing?
Right, yeah, because Venus in Fur was completely new to me, and I hadn't even heard of it at the time. So
Now let me ask you this: Does
You're very serious about this.
Does your work help you with this?
So much.
So much.
I have to practice what I preach. I tell all my clients, everyone that comes to me, I said, self-love is a lifelong process, and you constantly have to keep pushing yourself to love yourself and push yourself outside of your comfort zone. So for me, I am in lingerie for about 75% of the show.
Right.
Very skimpy lingerie. And I expect that of my clients. They come in, we do nude sessions too, and I expect that vulnerability from them, and they give it to me, and it's beautiful. So, I have to go out there and represent.
Practice what you preach, as you say. Yeah,
absolutely.
that you have to do that. Do you find it is it challenging to do that, or is it so much a part of your experience and your narrative that it's easier for you?
I have such a wonderful community of women that I work with, and actually have a private Facebook group with my past, present, and future clients and friends, and it's females only, and it's just an empowerment page. I show my work, but it's very important to lift these women up. You're constantly bombarded by so much negativity. So I want a place for them where I don't talk anything negative. They just come there, they feel good about themselves, and I try to lift them up every day. I think they do the same for me, so I think it really gives me a lot of energy to go out there and do it.
To go out there and do it, and again, a chance to express your beliefs.
Absolutely.
To live that, and she does that for women.
Yes,
absolutely. She does empower them to be.
Especially now during the Me Too movement, this is very apt. So I think it's going to be very powerful, and I hope it comes across that way.
I'm sure that it will.
And you run the 14th through February or
into the first weekend of March.
First weekend of March.
Yes. So first, second, and third, or first and third. Yeah,
Go
first, second, and third. Yes, first, second, and third. Sorry.
ShermanPlayhouse.org.
That's
I think is the website.
That's it.
Yeah, I should know. We're 106 in. I should know by now.
Yeah.
We've had
how many of the Sherman Playhouse?
So many.
Yes.
So many.
We haven't missed one of theirs in the 3.5 years we've been on. How long have we been on? Yeah.
Who came in for their Desert Cities? I don't think I remember.
Risa and
Steve?
No, Kit.
Oh, nice.
Kit and Risa,
Yes,
right?
Kit and Risa.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, Risa's one of my good friends. And then Kit's been on our show a bunch of times.
Yeah. They're wonderful.
Yeah. It's great.
So we're getting the little thing from the booth saying that we are just about out of time. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming, and we're looking forward to seeing your show. And it was really a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And thank you for joining us. If you want more information about Venus and Fur at the Sherman Playhouse, obviously go to the Sherman Playhouse website, or you can check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/cocktails and curtain call show. There it is. Or you can email us if you have questions, comments, concerns at cocktails and curtain calls at, I don't even know, we're 106 in, I'm tired, at gmail.com.
I'll email you my
perfect.
my
Next
dream part.
episode, look forward to the dream rolls.
We'll follow up on
that. We will see you again next week, and next week we have on the folks from TheaterWorks and their production of Race. So we will see you then.
We'll see you then. Have a good one. Bye-bye.